I beat that guy one time.
It's just too good. It's too good not to talk about. It is Israel Adesanya on the Mighty Mouse podcast. Firstly, straight away, right? Mighty Mouse is the absolute GOAT, man. The GOAT. He loves Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu so much now in the later stages of his career, which is the right time to start liking it. And he has just started implementing and setting up traps throughout his entire life. And now he has done it once again in an interview with Israel Adesanya. He's done it at a bar. DJ, so good, man. He's playing the game at such a high level. He's unbeatable. He's absolutely the GOAT. Right, so Mighty Mouse does this podcast with Israel Adesanya. That is what we're going to be talking about today. It's massive. It's one of the biggest podcasts in MMA out there right now. Absolutely crushing Luke Thomas's numbers, gold, right? And he has Israel Adesanya on, and he's done just a great job. By the way, the Israel Adesanya Mighty Mouse podcast has 185k views in one day. I think the MMA guru got like 100k views in one day. I'm kidding. Jerusalem. I'm kidding. It's a joke, guys. Back off. Israel Adesanya. He's gone on this world tour of podcasts, right? I don't know what's going on, but for some reason he wants to get his name back out there in the media. Probably just because of the horrible weekend that he had at UFC 300, right? He needs some paychecks. Don't blame him. He had a massive loss at 300. Israel Adesanya. Do you not remember high school? Guys, right? When it comes to fisticuffs, you always bet on the craziest kid in the classroom. He's the one that's going to be coming away with the W at the end of it, okay? So anyway, DJ has him sitting at this bar, and he just lets this absolute ego psycho ramble on about the rivalry with Alex Pereira, okay? And how the first one was an absolute robbery, the first one all the way back in kickboxing, I'm saying. And that how you are a casual. If you haven't watched some obscure kickboxing fight, if you don't watch every single fighter across the entire planet, if you don't watch some obscure kickboxing fight from China 100 years ago, you're a casual. You're not really into combat sports. Izzy, mate, if you've lived through, all of us, if you've lived through the apex era of the UFC, okay, it doesn't get any more hardcore than that, okay? To go and watch two fat heavyweights sweat on each other and then watch WMMA at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning, week in, week out, right? Then you come and talk to me about what hardcore is, okay? So he rambles on about that. If you haven't watched it, you're a casual. Have watched it, by the way. Went back and watched it, so chill out, Izzy, right? And then he rambles about the first stoppage in MMA and how it was clearly an early stoppage. By the way, he had his head all the way down. His hands went limp. He can't give Poatan any credit at all. Heaven forbid he gives Poatan any credit at all. Dude, Mark Goddard saved your goddamn life when that knockout happened. Saved your life. Poatan was going to clean you up. But he's still going with this, I was playing possum, waiting for the single leg narrative. Cannot give Poatan an inch. But then, that is when Israel Adesanya drops this absolute gold. How he finally beat Poatan one time. And Izzy is doing this sitting at a bar.
4 times. And it's about the story. So now I beat him once. How ironic. I beat him once. But then watch this. If I fight him again, I knock him out. What's that? What are they going to say?
Oh, you already did that.
Oh, it's 3-2. No, best out of 7. I'm like, bro,
It can't be real. It can't be real. Sometimes I'm like, we are living in the Matrix. It can't be real. It's too perfect, man, right? He is bragging about how he beat the guy that had him fighting for his life, like hooked up to an oxygen mask in the cage, by the way, while he does this weird ego tour of bitterness to just try and get the attention away from Poatan. He's so upset that Poatan has got now one of the most naturally cool moments in MMA history, right? He capstoned the biggest event ever with a cold KO put himself out there in MMA history. And Izzy is sitting there at a bar talking about how he beat that guy one time. You absolutely know Israel Adesanya has been kept up at night thinking about moving Herb Dean's hand out of the way and knocking Powhatan out the way that Powhatan did it to Jamal Hill. You know that has kept Izzy up at night, man. It's just like, it's so strange to me. And also, the absolute cope from the Izzy fans. I really don't get why the whole Israel Adesanya camp can't just give Powhatan some credit, can't give Sean Strickland some credit. There's always comments like this one. Look at this one, okay? This guy goes, I wish that you would have asked Israel Adesanya about the Strickland fight and what happened. I almost felt like Izzy didn't even try for that fight. Like he felt so accomplished at finally beating Alex. He felt like he could coast through Strickland. Why can you not just accept that a person is human and got beaten? Look, massive Alexander Volkanovski fan. Massive Alexander Volkanovski fan. Ilya beats Volk 9 times out of 10. Was that so hard? Oh my God, I didn't lick Volkanovski's asshole for a second. Was that so hard to do, right? Massive Robert Whittaker fan. Massive Robert Whittaker fan. DDP can rush Robert Whittaker's karate defense and beat him most of the time. It's not hard. Just give them some credit for a clean win, right? And then, oh my God, I can't believe that no one is picking up on this. I really can't. During the original I beat that guy one time, Israel Adesanya talks about how this guy is always posting when Izzy fights. Take a look.
Fight like clockwork, he'll try and put something out like, I beat this guy. But I've never ever watched any of his fights.
And then on the Mighty Mouse podcast, it's too perfect. It's just too perfect. Israel does the exact same thing.
This time, a year and 3 days ago, you know what I found funny? Normally the UFC, they like their on this day type posts.
Oh yeah, on this day type post.
Yeah, well not this time because it's... So I was like, if they're gonna celebrate me, I'll celebrate myself.
Yeah, you did. I saw that. I saw that.
I thought it was gonna come, but I was like, oh, nothing. I was like, oh, of course, you know why?
They're about to...
Israel Adesanya is actually talking about how he has to post his own highlight over Alex Pereira because the UFC won't do it because he has an upcoming fight and they're trying to sell Alex Pereira as the superstar. And now Israel Adesanya is sitting at a bar talking about how he has to post something to block the superstar's promotional tour. It's just so funny to me how he acts like the win is the most not important thing in the world when his whole public perception, his banner, when you go to his social media, his banner is him knocking out Powhatan. His whole front-facing public perception has become literally, I beat this guy one time. It's just too good. It was too good. It was too good not to point out. Sorry, Izzy fans. I know you can't admit it. I know, but it's just too good to point it out. I don't understand why he can't just avoid all of this hate that he gets from this side of the aisle, the anti-Israel Adesanya side of the aisle. It would be so easy to just sit down and say, he beat me clean once. I beat him clean once. We had 2 close ones. It was a hell of a rivalry. We made each other better. Like, just say that and let it go, man. Just say that. I think this is why people like Alex Pereira so much. Because he talked about how the Izzy rivalry helped him. He was an alcoholic. He was working at like a mechanic somewhere. His life was going down the absolute shitter, as we like to say here in Australia, mate. His life was going down the shitter. And he saw Israel Adesanya talking trash about him and it absolutely turned his life around. You can get behind someone like that. I don't understand why Izzy can't just put this rivalry to bed and say, he got me, I got him, we had a couple of close ones in the middle, it was great for both of our careers. Why is that so hard? What is so hard about that? Anyway, I just wanted to harp on about this because the Apex card this weekend is goddamn horrible. And this is way more fun to talk about. So I just wanted to do a quick video on this. If you enjoyed this video, let me know your favorite part down there in the comments. And of course, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one.